Hello, and welcome to This Wife Budgets. This video has been a long time coming, and I've been working on it for a while. Then, as I was editing, I realized this is a mess. So, I'm starting over, and hopefully, it will work now. I don't know. I feel like there are so many things I want to say, and I hope that I get it all out and it comes out right, and who knows, but hopefully we can get this out today. Happy April, everybody. I know that I had my weekly cash stuffing on Friday, and that was in April, and I'm sure I said that, but to all of you who may watch this video who didn't see that one, happy April. If you do like what you see in this video today, please consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Michelle, and I'm obsessed with all things budgeting. Just going to kind of go over, I'm hoping to keep this kind of short and sweet, just kind of going to go over today how I started my budget, why I was interested in budgeting, and all of those things. So a few years ago, I got interested in budgeting, and I began to search out what I needed to do, what the process is, all of those things. And I tried the Dave Ramsey method, and I just couldn't get motivated to do it. I don't know. I burn out really quickly. So it went a long time and just, didn't do anything. And about a year ago, I was on YouTube one day and I came across a cash stuffing video, and I was like, ooh, what is this? And I instantly became obsessed with watching different channels. I began to follow different channels, and I became just so engrossed in how it worked. And I think the thing that intrigued me the most was that everybody's budget was different. Everybody's envelopes were different. Everything was just unique to that person. And all of a sudden it began to click with me, like, this is what I need. This is what I need for me to make our budget work. And so we were living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, my husband made decent money. We are a single income family, but he made decent money. We just couldn't make it stretch for us at the time. And so as I began to watch these videos, I became extremely motivated. So I bought a notebook and some pens, and I began to fill the pages with just different scenarios for our budget, different possibilities for envelopes. I don't know. I just became completely obsessed with the whole process. And so day in and day out, on any spare moment that I had, I was thinking budgeting. And finally, I guess that was in the beginning of 2021. So around September, I told my husband, I said, for the next 2 months, we're only going to use debit cards. No cash, no credit cards, no, just debit card, because I want to really know what's coming and going and where it's going. And so that is what we did. And I took those 2 bank statements and I began to highlight categories. And I just began to add numbers, and I made this whole page of like what we spent it on, how much it was. I laid everything out for him. And because I knew if he wasn't supporting me on this journey or didn't understand this journey, that it was going to be hard for me to make it work. And when he began to see what we were spending versus how important it was, we spent a lot of money on eating out. We spent a lot of money on just frivolous things that didn't matter. And when he began to see that, he was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So he was instantly on board. And so I ordered a bills binder. I started with bills. I felt like that was, the one thing that had to be done every month. And so that was a good place to start. And in December, I started to really go over how to make it work for us. And so I wrote down all of our bills. These are the ones that you guys see in our videos. So I wrote down the bills and how much they are per month. And then I divided that by 4 because we're a weekly income. And this is how much has to be stuffed each week. So then I began to, I got my envelopes in, and I got them ready and everything. And so I started at the beginning of December, and I went through like what was due first. So I pulled out my calendar. I have my calendar here. Let me see. We'll go, should be April. So I got my calendar and a piece of paper, and I had written down, I kind of made a chart, and I had written down the dates of when stuff was due and, you know, what days our stuffings were on. So, you know, obviously we do Fridays. And so that is where I began. So I knew that my utilities were due first. And so, you know, that is where we had to begin. So I knew how much money I had each week to work with. And I stuffed all of utilities because that's you have the one there, but stuffing is right at the beginning of the month. So I knew it had to be fully funded. And so I would write out that total 220 right there. And then any money that I had left over, I would then disperse into, you know, the other categories. And then car note was due. And so, you know, the next week we had to, let's see, the first week, we did I was off 220. And the second week we did all of the car note, which is 350. And then anything that I had left over, I was dividing it equally amongst these other categories because I knew that they were coming up and they was going to need some money. And so then like on the 15th, I stuffed all of school or the rest of it. And then I divided amongst all, and I began to work it from there. I would pay what bills was due and what I had to do for that week. And then anything that was left was going into the other categories because, you know, I knew that to get to a point to where in the month when it's due, the money's sitting there is what I'm trying to say. That is what the process had to be. So by the first or second week of January, I was already almost to that point to where when the bill became due, the money was sitting there. It felt so good getting to that point. My next goal for bills is to be completely a month ahead. So by the first of every month, all of that month's money is sitting there. That is my goal. I'm hoping to get there by the end of the year. We will see. I like setting goals for myself and seeing them achieved. And so that was kind of my process of getting started, was in bills. And then the third week of January is when I started my YouTube channel. I kept kicking around the idea, like, do I want to do it, you know, get on YouTube? Do I want to start a channel? I don't know. I was nervous. I was scared. I don't normally talk in front of people, but since I can't really see you guys, it makes it a little bit easier for me, I think, because I get quite chatty, as you can see. But I knew that if I was going to stay motivated and accountable, I needed this channel. And so I started it, and honestly, I was so nervous when I uploaded that first video because I was like, what if literally nobody watches it? Like, what if I don't even get one view? And so nervously, I would check it, you know, every day. At the end of the day, I would go and check my channel, and there would be like a view or 2 views, or, you know, and it was exciting to watch it grow. At this point, we are, you know, a couple of months in, and already some of my videos have 500, 600, 700 views. I have one that has 1,000 views. I'm up over 100 followers or subscribers, and it feels amazing. I never expected it to get to where we are at this point this quickly. But I love, you know, the comments every week, just people being supportive and saying, hey, great job. This is so exciting. Look how much you've already got in this envelope, or, you know, and I love that because you can feel like-minded people who are interested in the same thing as you, doing the same thing as you, and enjoying your journey. And, you know, you can go and enjoy other people's journey. And it's a whole community here. And it is so rewarding to just watch how it evolves around you. That's the only way I know to explain it. And so it has been really exciting. The one thing that I would say, if you're interested in budgeting, is that, first of all, don't be scared to write things down and make plans. You know, you may change them even before, say, you know, someone might say, well, I haven't even bought envelopes yet. I'm just thinking about it. get a notebook and some paper and just begin to write out different scenarios for your budget and see if you can make it work. Start with your bills, start with your cash envelopes, whatever it is that makes sense to you first, and start somewhere. Because I realize now that if you don't start somewhere, you'll never get anywhere. I don't know if that makes much sense, but that was what it was for me. And the first time I started budgeting, I feel like a lot of the reasons that I was so discouraged was I didn't know there were savings challenges, and I didn't really know what to be saving for. I just knew that I was supposed to be saving money and paying my bills, but it wasn't really in the fun way that you guys make it on YouTube. So now that I found the fun way, we'll just say that. Now that I found the fun way, I love it. And I get really excited every week. Like as soon as my video is over on Friday, I instantly start, because I usually have a certain amount of time. And while I'm editing or watching my video to edit or whatever, I'm writing down the next week's budget. And it may vary a little bit because we have variable income, but I know that I have something to work with. And then throughout the week, I may go in and say, hey, let's change this around. And hey, it is your budget and you do it the way that you feel is most important for you. If, there are weeks, I try to put $20 a week in my Christmas envelope. If there is a week that I can't do that, that is a-okay. Because at the end of the year, I've got something sitting there and I'm not even going to be mad about it. If I can't make it work just like I did last week, if I'm, $50 short on or less than the week before on our income, hey, I will make it work. And I try to make sure every envelope gets something. It may not get what I hope it does, but I try to make sure every envelope gets something because they're all important to me. And I want to make sure that I'm trying my best to reach my goals. So I hope that kind of explains how I got started, why I got started. And if you have any questions, you may list them down below in the comments. And if I missed a lot of stuff, maybe I'll make another video later. But anyway, for me today, this is what I felt. There was a whole long thing that was going to be like almost an hour. And I was like, you know what? Let's cut that down a bit because nobody got time for that. So I hope that you all enjoy the video. Like I said, if you have any more questions about my budget, something I didn't go over, maybe I didn't explain something well, leave it in the comments below. I would be happy to chit chat with you about it. I hope that you all have a fabulous rest of your Monday and have a fabulous week. Bye, guys.